Ethical leadership transcends compliance. It's about integrating values such as integrity, fairness, and respect into every decision and fostering these values within your team. As senior professionals, you understand that ethical challenges can arise both from technological advances and everyday interactions. So let's look at a real example here. The Enron scandal. In the early 2000s, Enron, an energy company, used accounting loopholes and special purposes entities to hide billions in debt from shareholders. Their accounting firm was complicit in these practices by shredding evidences and falsifying financial statements. This led to Enron's bankruptcy, significant financial losses for shareholders, and the dissolution of the accounting firm. To prevent such ethical breaches, a multi-layer approach would be necessary. First and foremost, hold leadership accountable to foster an ethical corporate culture. Establishing strong regulatory oversight and implementing a thorough ethical training and compliance programs would be key steps. Let's look at some other practical steps that can help you avoid unethical behavior. Promoting open dialogue within your team ensures that ethical concerns are addressed openly. Set aside time in team meetings to discuss potential ethical issues and lead by example by demonstrating ethical behavior in all your actions. Share your decision-making process in an ethically challenging situation with your team and provide clear guidelines using real-life scenarios. You can also establish a team ethics committee to review and address new ethical challenges proactively. This committee can meet periodically, for example, during already scheduled management or strategy meetings. Take a look to reflect here. Look back when your team faced a challenging ethical situation. How did you lead your team to overcome it? How did your decision impact the long run? Ethical dilemmas in senior roles are increasingly complex, often involving multiple stakeholders and significant consequences. Consider a situation where a senior lawyer discovers that a partner at their firm has a conflict of interest that hasn't been disclosed, potentially compromising a major client's case. The lawyer must decide whether to address this issue, risking the professional relationship with the partner and the firm's reputation, or ignore it. I once discovered that a colleague was involved in a side business that could potentially conflict with our company. I had to quickly analyze the situation and chose to confront my colleague and bring the issue to the firm's ethics committee. We addressed the conflict transparently and found a solution. The situation led to implementing stricter disclosure policies. On the other hand, a colleague in a different workplace ignored a similar conflict of interest to avoid confrontation. When the company found out about the undisclosed conflict, they felt betrayed and terminated the employment. While these scenarios might sound obvious, I want you to reflect on it. Here are methods that can help you create a foundation for future situations or to reflect on past experiences. For instance, utilizing ethical frameworks such as utilitarianism or deontology can significantly guide your decision-making process. Utilitarianism focuses on outcomes and aims to maximize overall happiness or benefit. When faced with a decision, you would consider the potential consequence for all stakeholders and choose the action that produces the greatest good for the greatest number of people. For example, if you are deciding whether to implement a new policy, you would evaluate how it impacts clients, employees, and the organization. The goal is to ensure the overall benefits outweigh any potential drawbacks. Deontology, however, emphasizes the importance of rules, duties, and principles. According to this framework, certain actions are essentially right or wrong, regardless of their outcome. Decisions are guided by ethical principles such as honesty, integrity, and respect for individuals. For instance, if you encounter a situation where telling the truth might have negative consequences, a deontological approach will prioritize honesty because it aligns with moral duty. Encourage team discussions to create a culture where the team members feel comfortable discussing ethical dilemmas and seeking advice. This open dialogue can help identify potential ethical issues early and collectively explore solutions. You can also create or continue a habit of documenting decisions to ensure transparency and accountability. By keeping a record of the decision-making processes, including the ethical frameworks considered and the rationale behind the defined decision, you can create a clear and traceable path of accountability. This documentation can be useful for reviewing decisions, providing clarity during audits, and reinforcing a culture of ethical integrity within your team. Data privacy and confidentiality are essential components of professional services. As senior professionals, you have navigated these aspects throughout your careers. This discussion aims to broaden your perspective on why these principles are more critical than ever, how they can impact your work environment, and what proactive measures can further strengthen your practices. The significance of data privacy extends beyond regulatory compliance. It is about fostering trust, maintaining the integrity of client relationships, and safeguarding your firm's reputation. In an era where data breaches are increasingly sophisticated, your role as senior leaders is to ensure that data privacy protocols are not just in place, but are rigorously followed and continuously updated. Data breaches can have far-reaching implications, from legal consequences to loss of clients' trust and damage to the firm's reputation. For senior leaders, this means not only managing the immediate fallout, but also demonstrating resilience and a commitment to ethical standards. A strong approach to data privacy reinforces your leadership and sets a benchmark for your team. Consider a firm that neglected to implement adequate data security measures during a major transaction. A data breach exposed sensitive information, leading to significant financial and reputational damage. This firm faced legal ramifications, client dissatisfaction, and tarnished reputation. Can you recall a specific situation where your firm's data privacy protocols significantly impact a client relationship? What were the outcomes, and what did you learn from that experience? Your experience likely includes setting policies for data security privacy. Enhancing these policies and ensuring they evolve with technological advancements, it's vital. Transparency in handling client data and addressing concerns promptly builds trust. While leading by example in maintaining integrity in all professional interactions sets the standard for your team. As a senior leader, how do you set the tone for data privacy and confidentiality within your team? What actions can you take to reinforce the importance of these principles? For instance, make sure to regularly communicate the importance of data privacy in team meetings and provide ongoing training to reinforce these principles. So here are two questions for you. What emerging technologies do you anticipate having the most significant impact on data privacy in the next 5 years? And how can your firm prepare for these changes? Some companies are establishing internal or external task forces dedicated to monitoring and researching emerging technologies and their potential impact on data privacy. It's important to develop a proactive strategy that includes adopting new technologies while ensuring strong data protection measures. Maintaining professional boundaries is essential in ensuring ethical behavior, preventing conflict, and fostering a respectful work environment. For senior professionals, it is important to understand the complexities of professional boundaries and how they can impact relationships within the firm and with clients. Professional boundaries help define the limits and responsibilities of your role, making sure that interactions remain respectful and objective. They prevent conflicts of interest, maintain professionalism, and safeguard the integrity of the professional relationship. For senior leaders, maintaining these boundaries is vital as it sets a precedent for the entire team and influences the organizational culture. On the other hand, failing to maintain clear boundaries can undermine authority and decision-making processes. It can also create an environment where ethical lapses are more likely to occur. Personal experience. While mentoring a junior colleague, I found it important to maintain a professional boundary to avoid favoritism. By keeping our interactions professional and focused on work-related matters, I ensured a fair and productive working relationship. This approach not only supported the junior colleague's growth, but also reinforced a culture of meritocracy and respect within the team. Here's an example of a negative outcome. A senior consultant once developed a close personal relationship with a client, which led to biased decision-making. When the personal relationship ended, the professional relationship deteriorated, resulting in a loss of business for the firm. This situation highlights the risks of crossing the professional boundaries and the potential for significant professional and personal fallout. This doesn't mean you cannot work with friends. It just means you need to make sure there are boundaries in place for these relationships. Think of a time when you or someone you know had a potential conflict between personal and professional relationships. How did you or they handle the situation? What did you learn about maintaining professional boundaries from that experience? Clearly defining and maintaining professional boundaries ensures unbiased and ethical decision-making. It is important to avoid dual relationship and be aware of personal biases that might affect your professional judgment. Establishing clear guidelines and holding on to them will help you maintain these boundaries effectively and create a work environment that is fair, respectful, and conducive to ethical behavior.